as political parties and their candidates make efforts to ensure victory in the 2023 elections. The vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Kashim Shettima, has assured Nigerians that, if elected, Bola Tinubu's administration will be just, fair, and inclusive to all Nigerians, irrespective of tribal, religious, and political affiliations. He spoke at the one-year memorial service for the father of Governor Dapo Abiodun in Ogun State. He acknowledged the religious tolerance and generosity in the Southwest, urging that such is replicated in other parts of the country.
This is the Nigeria of our dreams. This is the Nigeria we need to build on, where people are judged by the content of their character, by their competence, by their abilities, irrespective of differences in our political affiliations, religious persuasions, sectional or tribal background. We need to build a nation because the hope for the black man rests with the people of this country. And the onus is on us to secure the future of generations yet unborn.
And still talking politics, the Northwest women leaders for the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Solidarity Vanguard have formally inaugurated their field vanguards in Katsina. The meeting, which was chaired by the wife of Katsina State Governor Hadiza Aminu Masari, attracted the presence of women leaders from the local governments of the state. Abdulatif Yusuf has details.
The formation of the Women's Vanguard for Bola Ahmed Tinubu here indicates the level of conviction women in Katsina have and their readiness to support the candidacy of Asiwaju for a better Nigeria. The meeting has in attendance women leaders from Jigawa, Kano, Kebbi and Kaduna states who are all out to convince the world that Asiwaju Tinubu is the right choice for women.
And I will do everything in the best of my ability to safeguard the...
The climax of the meeting was the investiture of Women Vanguard for Asiwaju in Katsina and the conferment of the national patron of the Women Vanguard on the wife of Katsina State Governor Hadiza Masari.
We are talking about good governance here. We are talking for better living. We are talking of providing food on the table of the commoners. We are talking about providing adequate security. We are talking about efficient transportation. We are marketing a product that is worthy of marketing.
Women are now getting more involved in political matters, and political parties are in scramble to attract their votes.
We just have to be ready. We just have to put our bets. We just have to see what we can do so that we can win this election. And I'm sure, by the will of Almighty Allah, surely I believe we are on the road. Success is with us, but you know nothing would come easy. We have to take on what you are hearing, on what we have seen.
The women leaders for Asiwaju were also in Katsina last July to create awareness for women to obtain PVC and also use it wisely. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
In Niger State, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has called on all Progressive Congress members in the state to sheath their swords and work together for the success of the party in the coming elections. He made this appeal at an interactive meeting with political appointees at the government house in Mina. Chenemi Bami reports.
The period after primary elections is always a turbulent one for political parties. The result of the primaries inevitably lead to bitter disputes among party loyalists, and that disunity threatens their success at the polls. The APC gubernatorial candidate in Niger State, Umar Bago, is meeting party members to reconcile differences. He had met with the cabinet members last week to convince them of his desire to work together with everyone to ensure the victory of the party at the polls.
As far as I'm concerned, the cabinet of Niger State government, which you represent, is a very,
now meeting with political appointees in the state to interact and resolve differences that might hinder their success. These conversations have been spearheaded by Governor Sani Bello, who said it was erroneous and could also be suicidal for the party candidates, members and stakeholders to sit back and assume they will have a flawless victory at the polls. He is worried that situations in the country have put the party at a disadvantage ahead of the coming elections.
God, in His mercy, has decided, as painful as it is, if our candidate did not get, we should leave it in the hands of God and work for the party. I think the key here is the party APC. I maintain and I insist, as painful as it is the party. If your party wins at all levels, you find yourself in places that you do not even expect. If your party loses, you have nowhere to go and complain.
When you come to seasons like this, you need to continue to meet and interact because there are issues. Nobody's going to shy away from the fact that you can't have congresses, you can't have primaries, and you come out smooth. You have to have issues. There are camps, there are people who are aggrieved. So the continuous engagement with stakeholders at different levels will seal that issue, and by the grace of God, will be top.
These consultations are expected to continue as the party tries to put its house in order. Chenemi Bameyi, TVC News, Mina.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's turn our attention to security matters now. 5 more victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack have been freed and now united with their families. This latest development was confirmed by Mahmoud Tuku, who has been the lead negotiator. The victims have spent more than 4 months in captivity. Among those freed is Mustafa Umar, an associate professor of medical biochemistry at the Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto. It is still unclear if ransom was paid for the release of the victims, just like those earlier released, after many family members, confirmed that they paid at least 100 million naira to secure the release of their loved ones. With the latest release by the terrorists, the total number of freed victims is now 29 out of the 63 passengers kidnapped, with 34 others still in captivity.
Gwamnatin tarayya da masu hannu da shuni su taimaka ma sauran uwanmu da suka rage su taimaka ma sauran uwanmu da suka rage dan Allah dan Annabi a samu a ceto rayuwarsu saboda suna cikin wani hali.
I literally was the medical doctor on camp. I was treating the captives as well as the bandits, or I would say Boko Haram members. There wasn't medication, to be very frank with you. We heard on the radio somebody was claiming that they would bring medication whenever it was needed. There wasn't any medication on camp. I mean, we could go days. There was a day that a particular lady who had malaria. So malaria, you could treat malaria with 1,000 naira. But this lady literally was going into coma because there wasn't medication for her. I mean, there wasn't medication for her malaria.